What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And by today's title of today's video, we're going to talk about plans and how they don't go as planned. So let's go. We go through the day and we plan things, small things, little things, big things, whatever it may be. And when the little things don't go as planned, like they don't have what we need at the grocery store, or they're out of a shirt that we like, or something, or we planned to get a gift for somebody and they didn't have the particular one that we were looking for. We tend to sometimes we don't really notice, and we don't necessarily let it affect us as much. But when a big plan changes or a big plan doesn't happen, it tends to stop us in our tracks sometimes. And recently, I was stopped in my tracks. So I work in retail. I am an assistant manager at a retail store. I had the opportunity to move up into the company to become a co-manager in that company. And when you move up to co-manager in the company, it sometimes requires you to relocate to another place, to another state, wherever. And so that was my plan. That was my plan, to do that, to move up in the company, to relocate to somewhere else. And so within the last 2 or 3 weeks, um, I was being prepared to, take this co-manager test that you have to take before you can move up, to know what to expect in this test, to kind of get me ready for, the responsibilities that a co-manager has, and to prepare me, you know, to co-run a store. The store that had come up, that would have been the store that I would have moved to, was in Tennessee, and it was 5 hours away, and it worked out great, so that I would be able to move to the store, and then I would be going to the store essentially, because it was one of the stores that's closest to home. If things happen, I'd be able to make it back, in a decent time. And so the day came for me to take my co-manager test, and I took my co-manager test, and it was not the test that I was expecting, because they had changed it. So I was expecting a completely different test. I knew that they had changed the testing and stuff for it, but I still wasn't expecting the test that I had to take. It was different, different questions set up, stuff like that. So I wasn't prepared for that. So after I took the test, um, I waited for my results. And if you get a phone call, it's not a good sign. But if you got an email, it was a positive sign. Well, after a few minutes, about 10, 15 minutes after I took the test, I got a phone call. I did not pass my test. So that put a halt on my plans. And after I got the phone call, I've felt failure before. I know what it's like to fail at things. I failed at jobs before. I failed at, being, a sister, being a daughter. I failed, a marriage, all those different things. But this was the first time that I had actually felt like I failed myself. And that's a whole other different kind of failure. And I was extremely disappointed. And because I was so set on moving to this store, moving to Tennessee to, start this job opportunity, to start this whole new chapter, and in just, a matter of 2 to 3 hours, it wasn't happening. And for me, in my life, my faith is a huge part of my life. And so before I had taken this test, the day before I had taken this test, I had prayed, and I know a few others had prayed as well, that if this was God's will, if this was His plan for me, that I would pass this test, and all these things would happen, and I would be taken care of and stuff like that. And so after I got the news that I didn't pass the test, of course I was disappointed. I felt like that hardcore failure of myself. And it took me a few days to kind of see the bigger picture in this. And I remember because after I had failed the test, and of course, my brain went to, if I didn't pass it, why am I in the position that I am at this store? Why am I at this store? And, what's my purpose? And all these different questions and these different things started coming up, all because of a test. Because I had worked so hard to get to this point, to be able to take this test and to be able to have the ability and the opportunity to do this, and not be able to come through with it. And so that affected me a little bit. And so, I had all those questions come up, why am I, what's my purpose in this? Why is basically, what am I doing? And a couple of nights after, I took the test and stuff like that, I had went to sleep. And I remember laying in bed and I couldn't sleep. I was having trouble sleeping, and I felt like all at once God dropped into my spirit, not failed at, but protected from. And I kept hearing that over and over again. So I got up and I wrote it on a post-it note, and I posted it on the mirror in my bathroom. So every day that I get up and I get ready for work or I get ready for the day or whatever it may be, I look at that post-it note and I'm reminded that, it's not something that I failed at. It was something that I was protected from. And yes, there are some failures that we have in life that we learn lessons from and that teach us things and that we move forward and we change from. But I also believe that there are things that happen that we fail at, failures in life that are meant to protect us for something that we had no idea about. But God did, and He protected us from that. Will I ever know what I was protected from by moving? Maybe, maybe not. I really don't know. But I trust that there was a reason. I trust that there was a purpose. And, still go about my day. The more that I change my mindset of, not failed at but protected from, there is a sense of relief that comes over with not having to move, not worrying about, finding a place to live and, being away from family for a little bit and stuff like that. But I trust that God has my best intentions, that He knows what could have been, and He saw what could have been, and He protected me from it. I don't know what it is. I might never know, but I trust in that there was a reason, that there was a purpose. And because of all this, there are things that I have noticed that I am changing and have felt change in my life, in my heart, and in my mind. Sometimes life doesn't go as planned, and failure can be seen as protection. And even though I'm a writer, so this analogy really resonates with me, and I can grasp a hold of it. Even though I might not know what the next chapter is, I can trust in the one who wrote the book. I can trust in God because He knows better than I do. His plans are better than my plans. And they always say if you want to ever hear God laugh, tell Him your plans. And but my favorite scripture, and I'll end it with this, is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, to give you hope in a future, not to harm you. I don't know what lies ahead. I don't know what's going to happen. I can retake the test if I want in 6 months. Will I retake it? I don't know. As of this moment, I say Yeah, but it could change in 6 months. Things can change in 6 months. Things can change tomorrow. Things can change today. But I know and I trust in, and I'm learning to trust in the one who holds the pen of my book, of my life. So just know that sometimes failure is a good thing. It protects us from stuff that we don't know about and we don't see. God does, and He's protected us from it. And that's how I can move forward and how I can go on and not dwell in the things that are not. Then I can have hope for the future, for the things that have yet to come. So, with that, I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna go have a me day. I'm gonna go eat lunch with a friend, and I'm gonna do some Christmas shopping because it's getting close to Christmas, my favorite time of the year. So, you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. Remember, failure is sometimes seen as protection. We may never know what it is, but we trust that there's a purpose and that there's a reason behind it. So, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.